Welcome back to another video. This one's going to be way different than the last 20, but this is how I packed to go to South America for 4 months, and this is how you can pack to go any place in any climate for any duration. Over the past year, I've had the privilege of traveling to a lot of different places in South America. And if you didn't already know, you can experience pretty much every climate on this continent. So with that in mind, preparing for any sort of trip can be very challenging. But with a good strategy, it's very doable. I've learned a lot during my travels through South America, so I want to show you how you can make the most out of your next trip to this incredible continent and walk away with an experience of a lifetime. So I'm just going to jump right into it and break down all of what I have in both these bags. You might be wondering why I have the bigger one on the front. The one on my back is actually heavier than the one on my front. This is where I keep all my clothes, and this is where I keep all of my camera gear and electronics, important stuff like that. So let's start by breaking down the electronic bag and all that I have in there. So before I left on my trip, I spent about 1 month researching literally every single thing that I brought. So I feel like I am pretty knowledgeable now on all this stuff. So this is the Shimoda Explore 30-liter bag. I had no issues with this in any of the airports or on any of the planes. This fit under every airplane seat with any airline that I flew, so no trouble. However, I did buy the extra carry-on bag for a lot of those budget airlines, but I had no issues, never had to check this bag once. And I think for what I was doing, working remotely, going on hikes, any sort of adventure, this thing was perfect. It's the best that I could find. I researched literally thousands of bags, so let's dive into this one to start. And I will leave a link to the bigger items in the description. So this has so many different pockets, but the top one here, I keep a jacket when I'm traveling. And then I have my sunglasses, 2 pairs for hiking, and then another pair for just walking around. I have the portable adapter, and then my tripod head. I'm filming on another tripod. And then there's pockets inside of pockets where I have other miscellaneous items, but I just have some locks. In this front one here, as you can see, there's pockets inside of pockets. This is where I keep all my drives, hand sanitizer, very important. And then inside of here, I have a little electronic case where I have cords and other various charging equipment. And then I have my bunch of stuff in here. Power adapter for the laptop, power bank, really important. This thing will get you like 5 or 6 full charges on your phone. It is a little heavy, but I think it's worth it. And then in this front one is where I keep the charging cord for my laptop and another charging cord for my phone. And then in this back one here, they all kind of connect to one another, but the pocket inside the other pocket, I have my passport, earbuds, another pair of earbuds, and just various items there. And then behind there is the laptop sleeve, which I have my laptop. This thing was a pain carrying it around, but it is what it is, my work computer. And then I have a little envelope, important documents, whatnot go in there. And then on the side, I have this water bottle, which honestly might be the most important thing that I carry around. It's a filtered bottle. You can fill this thing up anywhere. I've been to almost every country in South America and have filled this up with tap water, and I've had no issues. Never gotten sick, knock on wood, but this thing is a legit lifesaver. I'd recommend picking one of these up. I'll leave a link in the description for this. And this other side here, both of these sides have water bottle pockets. This one though can fold up, same with the other one can also fold up, which is a nice tool to have. There have been multiple hikes, as you can see here, where I've used both to carry 2 water bottles, so very nice to be able to fold that up and compact it down. But then on this side, behind here, I keep just 2 items in these 2 side pockets. This here is the ND filter for the camera, and then I have more ND filters down here for the drone. So quick and easy to access, and you can sort of see how it connects. So a lot of features to this bag. It definitely wasn't cheap, but absolutely worth the money that I spent on it. Now let's turn it over and we'll get into the main compartment, which is back here. These straps are great too. These are the secondary straps that come with it. They're actually women's straps, but they're not as bulky as the original ones, which is what I liked. So I threw those on there. And then there's also the hip strap, which I do put on when I'm carrying this thing around with the other bag. Also great for hiking as well. And then this thing can come out and you can remove it, which is nice for just walking around the city, having a lighter load, which is what I would do a lot of the time, is take all the stuff out and just roll with the laptop when walking and exploring around the city. But now let's open up the back side. So there's 2 zippers right there, and they zip around. Everything is very, very durable on this backpack. And then this opens up. So back here is where all the action happens, but just have 2 clothing items for colder weather, a long sleeve undershirt, and then on the back some leggings as well. And then here is the camera cube, all this fun stuff here. Essentially, this compacts very well to my needs, but I have my drone, camera and GoPro batteries, 2 batteries for the drone, so 3 in total, the remote controller, my GoPro. This is where I'll store just some wires for my microphone, and then in here I have my GoPro tripod, and then that's where I keep my microphone that's on this camera right now, and then obviously main camera that I'm filming on right now goes right in there. And this is the small Shimoda camera cube that they sell separately from this bag. I believe this one comes with a medium, so I had to swap it out and go with the small. So then let's get into more of the stuff. This is sort of split. I want to say maybe 70% camera equipment, 30% I can put like clothes and other items up top. And then this camera cube here comes out and you can rotate it to even free up more space on the top pockets. But then in between that top pocket and the camera cube, I have my Sling, which this thing was an absolute lifesaver in some environments, especially Carnival in Barranquilla. This thing was a game changer. I could put my entire camera in here. I could put my GoPro in here, my passport, my phone, and then strap it to my chest. I'm so happy that I bought this. I'll actually put a link to this below, but only like 70 bucks, absolutely worth it. And then on the side of the camera cube in the bag, I have a mini tripod, and then my big tripod, which is actually pretty small. This I used for all the hiking videos and just some other various content along the way. And then this, you can see, you can remove the camera cube and then turn it sideways to then free up more space up top. So a very, very versatile backpack. This is one of the reasons why I loved having this. There's just so many features, and after a while of getting used to it, it all just works so nicely in traveling. So would highly recommend going with the Shimoda. I know they have some newer bags coming out as well, but that's kind of how I rolled with this. There's obviously so many different ways that you can build this out to suit your own needs, but that's how I did it for my personal stuff. So yeah, let's move on to the second bag. Okay, so here we have our second bag, the big one. This is a Tortuga 40 liter. So this I also had no issues with in any of the airports or on any of the planes. I was able to actually bring this on as a carry-on most of the time, and it fits up above most airplanes in the overhead compartment. I know it exceeds the size and weight limits, but I had no issues with any of those airlines. So let's dive into this one. just start on the sides. These are 2 hip straps that I rarely used towards the end of the trip, but I just have like earplugs and a face mask for sleeping in there. So there's like 3 main compartments. But we'll start with the big compartment. So this kind of opens face up. And we have a lot going on in here. So granted, this is the system that worked best for me. You probably will notice that I do not use packing cubes. I'm actually not a fan of packing cubes. I like this bag for that specific reason. It's more of a rectangular shape. So I felt like I was able to keep my stuff very organized throughout the entire time. Even though this might look disorganized, I don't think it is. And you kind of develop a system as you go and get more familiar with the packing up of these bags along the way so many times. So this main compartment is all of my clothes, and keep in mind I have this t-shirt, a pair of jeans, pair of underwear obviously, and then socks with my favorite Hoka shoes, which you've seen in all of my hiking videos. So that I roll with when I travel, usually wearing pants no matter what the weather is. So Colombia was definitely rough. But let's break this down. I have a lot going on here, but on the side I carry 4 pairs of shorts, and then I have 2 pairs of khaki shorts. I have my flip-flops, and then right on this top side I have 3 pairs of socks, and then on top I have my microfiber towels. So 1 big one, 1 small one. This is a must when traveling. If you're going to a beach, you're in a hostel, they don't have towels, these come in handy. So carry those for sure. And then I just have some underwear in between the 2 of those. So these are the towels and then the underwear in between them. And then over here, I do actually have 1 packing cube, I forgot. But I have bathing suit and hat, and then we have another pair of shoes for just everyday use. I have like toilet paper stuffed in between so the bag doesn't get dirty. I like to keep things clean, but then I stuff these shoes with socks. So I have, I don't even know, maybe 5 pairs of socks in between these 2 pairs of shoes. So you gotta capitalize on space as much as possible. But here we have our shoes, 2 headbands that I use for running, and then these are stuffed with socks. And then this is my main packing cube, which in here is just mainly pants, so, and underwear. But I have this 1 shirt. I never wore this. It's the only item that I didn't wear. My plaid dress shirt. Never once wore it down in South America. But I have just your basic khakis, jeans, and then 2 hiking pants, which you've seen in all my videos. And then on the sides, I have 2 pairs of underwear on either side, so 4 pairs total. And then on the other side, let's unzip this. But I have all of my t-shirts, and then I keep maybe a pair of underwear in between, and then I keep 2 pairs of underwear down below here. The rest is all t-shirts. I'll kind of go through this pretty quickly, but I really do like the moisture wicking t-shirts. They are the best for travel. So I have 8 moisture wicking shirts. This is kind of an in-between, and then 6 cotton t-shirts, which honestly I didn't wear that much. Maybe here or there I would throw one of them on, but I probably could have eliminated 2 or 3 of these. And then I have just a nice like throw over for some colder weather. This actually I wore more than I thought I would, so I'm definitely happy that I brought this. Way more practical than bringing a bulky sweatshirt. So that's all of the main clothing items. And then behind, in between the straps and the main compartment, I have my winter jacket, which is a puffer jacket, so it compresses down. And I fold it a certain way, and it goes in between this back padding and the bag. So it's actually a perfect pocket for that and was really handy. Was able to get that out of the way and not have it be so bulky and getting annoying in my travels. But that's all of the main clothes. So I'll just break it down. We have 4 shorts, 2 pairs of khaki shorts, 4 pairs of pants, a 5th that I have on, 14 t-shirts, and then 1 winter one. I also have that one in the other bag too, the Under Armour like long sleever. And then I think I have 8 pairs of socks, most in which are these Smart Wool socks. Would definitely recommend bringing that. I probably could have gone all 8 the Smart Wool, but I did bring 3 pairs of cotton ones just to switch it up. And then underwear, I think I brought 10 pairs total. So I would say all of this is enough to maybe get me through a week and a half, at most 2 weeks before I have to do laundry. So now in the second biggest compartment up top here, we have a lot of organization, which I love about this Tortuga bag. But on top here is where I have my toiletry bag. Now this is actually a makeup bag, I'm pretty sure, but this thing was great for what I was doing. It's one of the fold-up ones, and it expands pretty big. But I have all of my essentials in here. I have flossers, my mouth guard, soap, razor, shaving cream, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, face wash, stuff for my hair, and then another lotion that I'll put on my back, face moisturizer, extra razors, comb, nail clippers. So that's pretty much all that I have in here, just all of the basic necessary things to get me through everyday life. Not much more needs to be said. And the thing that I liked most about this is it's more of a rectangle and it's very thin. So this was able to go really nicely on top of this bag, which I think allowed me to capitalize on a lot more space and was able to bring more clothes because of that. These things can get really bulky and take up a lot of room in your bag, so that's why I went with the makeup bag. I think it made the most sense for what I was trying to do, and it fits perfectly in this top compartment. As you can see, it doesn't take up that much space. So then deeper in here, I have one of these dry bags from Sea to Summit. I didn't really use this that much. But if I had like dirty clothes, I can put that in here and then pack my bag to where things aren't smelling. If I was going to the beach and had a wet towel, I would put that towel into here when I was going back. So it is, I think, nice to have along the way. So I'd recommend carrying that. I know a lot of travelers use these dry bags. So then in this top compartment, this is like my first aid medical kit here. So I have just your basic prescriptions for like diarrhea if you have food poisoning, take that. Also altitude medication, which I've never used, surprisingly. And then in here I just have NyQuil, DayQuil, very, very necessary and comes in handy. And then Band-Aids. So pretty simple for the first aid stuff. It's not like you're going to the middle of nowhere. Like these cities have your basic things that you can get in the pharmacies. There's a lot of pharmacies too, so you can definitely count on them having some stuff if you don't bring it. But then there's just some other basic organizational things. I have extra filters here for the water bottle. So that's the top pocket. Everything folds up really nicely. And then we have another pocket right up top here, which I have a razor. And got shit falling out everywhere here, but Tylenol, Advil, some cream for like a spider bite that I had, and then bag tag, and then just some liquid IV hydration packets that I didn't use, surprisingly. So that's the top pocket. And as you can see, this is a squeeze, so you have to kind of push down and then really work the zipper around. And then I normally get it to like halfway, and then I'll throw the rest of the stuff in, like the khaki shorts on top, flip-flops, and the socks. So every little bit of space is being used. And then on to the final pocket, which is right here on this back side. This is where I carry plastic bags. These come in handy when cooking. I throw my extra leftovers into those bags and I can store. They're kind of like Tupperware containers, but I just use bags and then replace them every so often. I have my hat, and then there's a pocket inside of the pocket. This is where I'll keep more locks. So I think 3 in total. These smaller ones, I can lock the zippers on this bag and the other bag, and then a bigger one for if I'm in a hostel to lock it up in a locker. This one's more durable. That's that pocket. And then we got drain stopper. And deep in here, laundry detergent sheets. So these take up no room. There's 60 sheets in here. I probably went through about 40 in 4 months. So you get a lot of detergent out of these sheets, and they're really, really thin, compact, and they can go into almost any pocket and they take up no room. These were really, really useful, and they don't smell too bad. I can honestly leave a link to these because these were great. And then the drain stopper, to where in South America there's almost no dryers. I think in 4 months I used 1 dryer, and every once in a while I have an Airbnb with a washing machine. So carry this to do your laundry in the sink. This is a lifesaver. And this is also like a laptop sleeve as well, but I don't put my laptop in this bag. So that's pretty much all I have in that pocket. So that's pretty much it. 2 bags. You can literally go anywhere in the world in any climate with this setup. I know a lot of people feel like they have it all figured out. You just have to kind of create your own system, do your research. That's what I did. And then you kind of figure it out as you go and come up with the best method of packing up your stuff. And you just get so used to it over time, you'll feel like an expert in no time. But this was the way I did it. 70 liters in total. And really I went from 95 degrees and humid outside to 35 degrees and the most wind and cold I've experienced in a while. So this will get you through pretty much any situation. I learned a lot in 4 months, so this will be the way I go the next time for any long duration trip that I take. But I could leave links to those more important things. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below. I'm not affiliated with any of these brands. This is just what I use and like using in my travels. So I hope this video was able to help and give you guys some ideas on some things that you can bring on your next trip. I know I blitzed through it pretty quickly, but I feel like that's honestly the most effective way of doing it. You don't really need an explanation on every little thing. You're going to do your own research at the end of the day. So get on Amazon, get on these sites, and find out what's best for you. This is what worked for me. Hopefully it gave you some ideas. So thank you guys for watching. A little bit of a different video, I know, not the typical travel content, but we'll be back next week with an interesting one from right here in the United States. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy.